Did it go?
Okay. Got it.
Got it.
Oh, wait. I got to push stuff. And then there's the tonight. It's the quality of being hot. High heat. Or no, high temp. Oh, I ruined it. 1995's Heat. Who's ready for this one? It's a classic.
Guy. Not you.
I'm
It's
ready.
like The Godfather 2 came to LA and grew up 40 years.
And put Al Pacino and De Niro on the screen together.
Hey,
Right.
Ben,
It also did that.
Kind of.
Ben,
Kind
can
of.
you do a mic check real quick? You sound.
Check, 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 check.
All
There
right.
it is.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. A little BTS there behind the scenes. We got our regular crew tonight. We got Russell. Give me all you got, Craigie. All right, then.
This checks out.
Joe, I hold on to my angst. It keeps me sharp on the edge. Morgan.
Every fucking day, snapping fingers.
Hey, wait, Ben.
That's right. It's Ben. To me, the
No.
action is the juice. Hanson.
Yeah. Keep the mic away from your face a little.
Nice. Very nice.
All right. So we'll keep on going then.
Blowing
You
it
sound
out.
loud. You sound really loud. I'm gonna throw.
Do you know
it out.
this? Michael Mann, actually, this is a remake of a TV movie that he didn't want his name really attached to, but he made this like a decade earlier on TV, maybe 6 years earlier. Did anybody else run across that?
Nope.
Hey, Joe, did you do any research?
Of course.
No, good. All right, never mind. I didn't run across it in my research.
Okay. Well, I did. So,
That's what matters.
this is going to be an exciting show. I've got lots of questions for you guys. I'm going to keep track. We got some trivia later.
Hey.
But hey, first question of the night is definitely for Russ. You watched this movie and The Dark Knight in the same week.
I did.
William Fichtner, is he just getting hotter as he gets older? What's your take?
Which one's William Victor?
Oh my God,
I love you, Russ.
Van Zant.
Thank you. There we go. See, keep it relevant, Ben.
Van Zant.
Oh,
Look at
there-
this guy's IMDb picture. It's like
he's Mahone in Prison Break season 2.
I never watched Prison Break.
Yeah, whatever. You say William Fichtner, I say Mahone.
Okay, well,
Anyways,
All
which Fichtner's
yeah,
better?
he was in Batman for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but he had some good lines. A smoke grenade goes off in his mouth. I mean,
I would say he's better in this movie.
huh? Okay.
I actually
Van
felt
Zant.
like he reprised his role as Batman in the Batman movie. I feel like he reprised his role in this movie a little bit.
Except, spoiler alerts, three to the chest
Yeah.
means that he did in fact not. Russ, go ahead and give us a rating and a grading. How do you feel about Heat 1995?
I picked the movie, right? So I must like it.
I don't know.
This is a great
Flashbacks.
movie. This is a great
Flashbacks.
movie. Everyone should watch it. It's a staple for crime and action. It is not without its flaws. It cannot be an A+, although some people would probably put it there. I'm gonna give it an A-.
And then abruptly stop. Okay,
Just bam.
gotcha.
Well,
There it is.
yeah,
A
Thank you for
minus.
the levity. Nope.
I'm saving the rest for the show, which will
Great.
happen.
This
Uh,
is the show.
I don't know if you know or not, but we hit record. This is it right now. It's a thing we do.
You're currently recording. You're walking
Joe?
out of the bank.
How about you?
I mean, when it came out, it was an A+ all day long. This was all anybody could talk about. It was huge having Pacino and De Niro in the same scene together, in the same movie together.
But it was not the first time they did that.
No, just the same time they shared the screen. First time they shared the screen.
First time they shared the screen. Not
Right.
that they've been in the same movie, but the first time they've shared the screen. Val Kilmer was hot. I can't.
Fresh. He got a break from Batman Forever to come do this.
I feel like this movie was like a pretext to what would end up being Val Kilmer. Because at the very end, when they take that shrapnel out of his shoulder and he starts to turn his head.
Am
to
I
the
rating
side.
and grading this movie, or is Russell rating and grading this movie? I don't know what's happening.
You're talking about Val Kilmer.
Oh no, I mean that was just my like a high point, a touchstone. But okay, let's talk about Val Kilmer.
I'm just talking about Val.
You rate it.
I can
Rate
dig it.
For me, coming back to it now after some time has gone past, I couldn't recall if the armed robbery that robbed directly from this movie either robbed from the movie or if this movie was based off of it. But there was a bank robbery very similar to this movie
in
that
LA.
happened in LA.
Right. Yep. 7
This is-
people killed,
this-
11 people injured.
This
it's a
is
B
why
plus.
I abruptly ended.
I got you.
It's
to
a
give
B
room
plus.
for Joe.
It's a
Joe's
B plus
rebuttal.
for me.
B plus.
Yeah,
B
B
plus.
plus.
B plus.
Holds up decently.
I think it holds up really good. This movie's long, and I can see half an hour to cut off of it. I also
dude,
see.
and I watched the fucking director's cut. It was 10 minutes shy of 3 hours.
Wow. It's long by itself. I didn't write down how much, so I don't know. But this movie's long as hell. A lot of times I watch it and I'm like, I wish I just had this version where it's cutting out half an hour, but it's cutting out a lot of Pacino's off the crime story. Like all I want out of Pacino is the detective. I don't need the rest of his background, but you've got to, I guess, ground him.
Yeah, you got to make him not. He has to be more human than the criminals.
Right.
Do you guys want, before you hear Ben, do you want to hear the Sonya minute?
Sure. She called
it's
you to discuss this, right?
Well, no, that was a specific scene which I'll go into later. But this was her first time watching the movie, so I think a different perspective than what any of us would have.
Mhm.
We would all agree that this movie is too long, but we've seen this movie before.
Right.
As a first-time viewer, she had no complaints about the length of the movie. And in fact, the thing that she said she liked the most was that it wasn't just action or wasn't just crime, but it had these layers of what it is to be a person who works in that environment. Because we've all heard, like, being with or being married to or just being a cop is terrible. Like outside of
the shit they've got to deal with every day.
Yeah, just like when you come home, you are not the kind of person that everyone else is when they come home from their job.
Yeah.
And I think this movie really captures that. And as a first time watch, maybe even a second time watch, it's fun to see that in a movie. When you've seen this movie a lot of times, it gets pretty old.
I would disagree. I would say that if anything, after multiple watches, I feel like they wake up. They start their day different than other people in their day. Like they start their day. Like, could you imagine having to wake up and know that you don't know what kind of horrid underbelly of society that you're going to have to witness today?
Right.
I don't even want to imagine it. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't.
Yeah, you just hope for the days where there's not like a murder or a stabbing, or
yeah,
you just pray for those days where it's like, you know what, worst thing anybody did was shout a little bit, and that all came out all right. I don't know if they even have those days. But
I just had to deal with a B&E today. I'm good.
yeah. Now on the flip side of that, it would be incredibly fun to be a criminal and be ready to outsmart everybody that you dealt with in a day, right? Like,
dude, the coffee scene.
As long as you're not getting killed.
So good. But Ben, what's your grade? We didn't.
Hey, besides the diner, you know, I was gonna go with A-, but speaking of coffee, when Al Pacino's getting coffee in the morning, there's no lid on his coffee maker. Now, coffee makers have a little weight, and that lid is designed to push it up just a little bit so it dribbles down through the open top. There's no way that coffee maker is viable. It's a B+.
De Niro's coffee
Lucky I'm not
maker-
giving it a B.
De Niro's coffee maker had a lid. I'm just
Dude.
saying.
I don't remember if it did.
No,
No,
it's,
it did. It did.
no, you guys are both wrong because Al Pacino did not pour that coffee.
De
Robert
Niro did. That's right. It was De Niro when Chris
De
was on his
Niro
floor.
poured that coffee for Val Kilmer, and there was no lid on it. I remember the scene very well.
I don't really like getting corrected by Russ, but thank you. Thank you, Russ.
You are welcome.
That's right.
And in the moment, I was like,
everybody noted Ben was wrong.
in the moment, I did think like,
Fuck
oh, that looks
Russ.
weird, but I dismissed it. I dismissed it as like, oh, it would still work as a pouring device, so it must work. I didn't
Right.
think about what Ben
No,
just
there's
said.
no way that.
Oh, I
coffee
saw it and
would-
was like, bullshit.
There's
It's
no
true.
way.
B
Michael
plus.
Mann,
I
what's
dropped my
going
grade
on?
to a B plus.
No way that
Coffee
was
maker is
fresh.
stupid.
Like,
ridiculous.
there's no way. He walked in the door, made a phone call, and then poured coffee. Cold fucking coffee. No, I'm good.
Well, coffee makers
I
stay
know.
hot for a long time.
And doesn't he give it to him? Doesn't he give? Who's giving the guy sleeping on your hardwood floor a cold cup of coffee? What an asshole.
Dude, and is
You
that
know-
the most fucking austere apartment that's ever been depicted?
Oh,
in
I want to
any
rent that
movie
beach house for my
ever?
wedding. I want to put my wedding in that beach house. That looks fun.
What wedding?
Just open to the whole side. I love that house.
Oh, and in the director's cut, they capitalize on that cinematography. Like there's at least 15 minutes of extra footage that's just out the friggin' glass wall over the ocean.
Just De Niro contemplating medals.
Yep.
It's crazy shit. Speaking of De Niro, let's get the wad out.
What's the wad?
Starting with the D and the W, of course. Michael Mann, an action maker's drama action maker, remade this movie. In 81, put out Thief with James Caan. Have either of you seen that movie?
Holy shit! Like friggin' way long time ago.
Way long time ago.
Way-
Wacky fucking
Way
movie.
long time ago.
86, he does Manhunter. I forget the actor's name. I just think of him as Grissom every time. But that's a great movie.
That's fucking hilarious. Talk
That's-
about
that's-
typecasting. That was
Yeah,
his
I don't
great-
even-
That was his best role.
Manhunter is a really great movie, especially for 86. 92, the Mochicans. He gets DDL
The
and they start.
Mochicans.
Dude,
The
and
Mochicans.
how, just real quick, I just got to throw this in because I made a fucking note of it. At that scene when he's walking back out of the hotel to the Camaro, and what's up with the Camaros in this movie? But we'll come back to that. And he's standing at the door looking down at his chick, and Pacino comes around the corner and he friggin' has this moment. Like, I just, in my mind, I heard the line, "I will find you. Stay alive. I will find you." So-
When
so
is this? What the fuck are you talking about?
That's,
To
that's when he
Edie?
lives.
After, to Edie, after Pacino.
Oh, when he
comes-
leaves her?
Yeah, when he leaves her. Like,
Yeah.
how
He's
does
like-
he not just take a moment? He's close enough. He could have. She rolled the
Like,
window
I'm
down.
to
he
20
did.
seconds and I'm walking away. I don't need the full 30 seconds.
No, because I think the whole importance of that scene was that you as
Don't
a
say
viewer,
goodbye. Right.
you as a viewer are supposed to be monologuing the whole 30 seconds. If I can't walk away from something in 30 seconds, and he does it. If you count the time in that scene, it's less than 30 seconds.
Yep,
Crazy.
but still,
I
he
want to get
could
back
have
to that. I
afforded-
want to get back to the hotel.
All right.
Wait, I just want to
Wait,
interrupt.
wait, stop the
because
show.
Wait.
Stop it.
I need to make sure that the viewers know that there's no such thing as Mochicans. Ben is inserting an extra C. It's the last of the Mohicans.
Oh, it's the last of Michoacans. That's right.
Oh, God.
That's right. Cheech and
I don't want to
Chong's
confuse anyone
15th
out
movie.
there.
DDL bringing the heat.
Speaking of bringing the heat, he brings the heat. And then the insider, Ali, Collateral, and then Miami Vice, maybe his crowning achievement. Joe, Crockett or Tubbs? Which is it?
What? Hey, you really
Tubbs all day long.
you just steamrolled over Ali. Like that was
Yeah, I did.
Hmm.
Yep. Thanks for bringing us back.
Tubbs.
Tubbs.
I
Okay.
said Tubbs. There was an answer in there, but Russ was mumbling some bullshit.
God damn it. God damn, it's like making a podcast with my brother's kids or something.
We're focusing on
Jesus.
Miami Vice here, folks.
That's right. Jamie Foxx and that Irish guy,
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. That's his
Said
name.
That Irish guy.
I love him in Minority Report. Yeah,
facts
Ali.
about that
Ali was a
movie.
pretty
They-
big movie.
He's
not
One
in
of
it.
Will Smith's best, I would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Ali,
Yeah.
yeah, he was great in that movie. I saw that in the theater. We
Ali's
had
an
gone on
incredible
vacation to
movie.
Reno, and I was sick of being in a casino. So I was like, let's go spend 2 hours not pumping money into a machine and go watch a movie. Worth it. It was good. It
All right, fair enough.
was good. It's good.
I don't know about Will Smith's best, but
Dude,
Well-
I mean, no, Will Smith's best is Pursuit of Happiness, but Ali,
yeah, no, I mean that's
Mm.
that's a solid argument.
Uh,
That is.
I mean, you
solid-
could
I mean,
argue-
have you guys seen 6 Degrees of Separation? His first one, where he portrays Sidney Poitier's.
That's also a solid argument. I feel
I-
like
I mean,
Really
seven
great acting.
pounds. 7 pounds is another one, but I give it to Pursuit of
Will,
Happiness. When
Will,
he's-
Will Smith
You know what?
is
Fresh
a
Prince. I'm just gonna. It's
Man.
in there. You watch
Done.
it.
conversation done.
Carlton.
Wins.
That's really
Oh.
funny, but is there anything that's more traumatic? I don't know, as a viewer, than when Will Smith is holding the stall door closed, crying while his son is sleeping in the bathroom? Like that scene just fucking breaks me as a person. In Pursuit of Happiness, do you guys remember that scene?
No, I
Yes, I remember. Yes, I
personally
definitely
love
remember Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Absolutely.
is probably one of my all-time
Our-
favorite movies.
Our old friend of the show, Jason Buchanan, sent me a picture that showed that LA gas prices have finally met I Am Legend levels, and here we are. Here we are. It's now $6.88 a gallon in LA to get some
I
gas.
guess it's a
God
zombie apocalypse.
Damn.
Oh my god, dude! Will
God
Smith, we should have
damn.
listened to you.
Fuck you, Putin.
Okay, so now we're doing writers, right?
No, because Michael Mann wrote this movie. Now we're going straight in the A. Let's talk about
Nice.
Pacino.
Going straight
Talk
in there.
about De
We're not gonna
Niro.
spit on it. We're not gonna.
Okay, wait. I
we're
got
not gonna
two-
tease you.
Really? How
got-
long do we talk before we talk about who is the best person in the movie? Because
No,
I think
wait.
it's up to a couple people, and neither one of them is the starring role.
No, not for me.
I don't know. I
But-
feel like you're calling it in. You're kind of like.
No, I don't have my
Yeah.
phone's recording my picture right now.
Uh-huh.
Well, shit. Now that you presented that question, I really want to think about it. Can we come back to it so I have some time to think about
We
it?
fucking better.
Here's what I want to say.
And that's
Is Tom? I think it is important. Is Tom Sizemore our number one actor on this show? I feel like we review him like every other month.
I think this is definitely top 3 with Saving Private Ryan and a movie to be named later. I love him in this role as Mike.
Yeah, he's great. Joe, do you know who Tom Sizemore is?
Sizemore is an awesome actor. He's one of the ones. Thanks to my exposure to Ben and his insistence on referring to people by their names instead of their characters.
Instead of just fake shit,
Yeah,
recognizing them as people.
Yeah.
So wait,
I'm
who
glad
is
I could
Tom
help.
Sizemore? Which one is Tom Sizemore?
Michael, you fuck.
All right.
I really love when he tells Wangro, stop talking now.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
perfect.
my favorite. It's like, yeah, that's me right there.
At the
All
end of
right,
the day,
did it. I'm
that
not here
is
to talk
Ben.
to you.
it'd be
Hey.
that-
Hey, stop talking.
Stop. Wait.
Okay, my other
Wait.
question was specifically about Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Okay.
3 movies together. Have you guys seen all 3?
So Godfather 2, this one, and what's the other one?
Irishman.
Oh,
I've not
Irishman.
seen
I
it.
watched the first hour, realized it was 3 hours long, and said I'll come back one day.
Neither of you guys watched The Irishman?
Well,
Is-
Joe's prejudiced against the Irish, so he
What the
wouldn't
fuck?
have.
Oh wow! Have you guys seen my hair?
Ben is
because-
just
Heavy-
making up fucking shit. That is not at all
Hot take,
based
but
in
we talk. I
fact.
mean, hey, click the button, gangs in New York. Here's what I'm talking about right here. There's the
Ben.
clip.
Hey Ben, before you did the
This
whole
fucking
online
guy.
testing thing, didn't you tell Joe that you were like 50% Irish? That
I don't think so.
motherfucker.
I thought it was 100% Jew.
That's not true. But
L'chaim.
because they can blood test for that.
Well, they can, yeah. You know, you can be Jew by race. It's not just a religion,
I guess technically.
which I feel like is a great tagline for Judaism. Try for the race. It's not just religion.
Fast forward 100 years, and there's going to be a Judeo war over. I'm racially Judas.
That's
well,
right.
of the
Judas.
two that
I'm racially Judas.
You got
of the
that.
two that you guys have seen,
Yeah.
their performances, I mean, I guess I'd give it to Godfather 2, but would either of you guys put Heat over Godfather 2 as far as
Absolutely fucking not. De Niro as young Vito Corleone in Godfather 2 is hands down. Dude, Godfather 2 is one of the best movies ever made.
If
I think
had
you've said
seen
this
it, I
multiple
could
times.
qualify. I could make
Well,
a qualifying
I
statement,
hate
but I
that
have
you
not
say
seen it.
that.
One of you fucks is going to have to pick it for me to watch it.
Well,
That's just
All right, we know we're watching next time, folks.
we're
Oh,
gonna do the whole
God.
trilogy.
Oh God.
All right, like and subscribe. No, we're not done yet.
I
Just
need
kidding.
to-
Stick around.
I need to
Still
go see
got
my
trivia
dentist.
questions. Speaking of trivia questions, Joe, Al Pacino in this movie
Uh-huh.
saying something shitty and then hanging up on people. Is it a boss move or a dick move?
At the time when this movie came out, prior to Scott Pilgrim, it was a boss move.
Was it? Come on.
Scott Pilgrim's what changed? Saying something shitty and hanging up on people?
The next thing you hear is the click.
All right,
know.
so you guys
Yeah.
Talking to a fucking dead man on the end of this line.
Yeah.
speaking of Al Pacino, you guys want to know why Sonia called me on her way to work following the
Oh,
evening
the
that
fol-
we watched this
the
movie?
follow up to the Sonya Minute. Absolutely.
It's the
To
Sonia
talk
second
about
minute.
cocaine use?
Sonia's
Why?
second minute. She was like, I just really felt the need to talk to you about this one scene in the movie, which I didn't really pay too much attention to.
Give me all you got.
It's when Al Pacino breaks into that scrapyard kind of place
Yeah,
to
that's exactly the scene Ben's quoting.
Yeah.
to
Get to the informant. Yeah.
talk to the informant.
Yeah.
And
Give me all you got. Oh
And
my
there's
God, dude.
there's a bunch of guys who run away.
Uh-huh.
So they obviously they see the fact that he's an informant, and then they run away. She was like, "That's not realistic. That would never happen because
dude,
that
they're
would
afraid of
spread
immigration.
so fast."
So the undertones that I feel like are in that scene, and I'm gonna call on another culturally relevant show, and it's a show, not a movie, but I feel like that is a Michael Chiklis moment from The
Oh,
Shield.
and the Shield. Hey,
Like-
you should watch
like,
it.
They
It's a great show.
know, like, and I feel like that's an unrecognized portion of this show. Like, friggin' Pacino's character is not as clean and pristine as he's actually finally represented in the show. I feel like he is much more along the lines of the Shield mentality, which is
Oh yeah, he's
this dude lives in the fucking gutter with the trash.
right. He's supposed to have a cocaine habit that is the inspiration for his outbreaks.
Yeah.
They talk about in the trivia how when he's talking to Hank Azaria and he's like, she's got a great ass. That Hank Azaria literally was not expecting that, and he's freaking out, thinking Pacino is just fucking going crazy. Totally improvised. Yeah, no, Pacino is up to 9 in this movie.
Funny.
So
I'd say
actually,
10, dude. That give me
on
all you
this-
got.
on this watch through. This was the first watch through that I have done in a while for Heat. Like, I probably haven't watched this movie in 5 years or more.
Right. Agreed.
And Pacino's been out of the spotlight for a hot minute.
Oh, dude, he did a really good one about an aging rock star. It's like Danny Boyle or something. It's not Boyle, but it's pretty good. Anyway, go ahead.
Regardless, when I came back to this and I had to recall what he had been in and where he was at in his career at the moment. And I remember watching it and I was just like, he is so over the fucking top.
Yeah.
Like it's probably the first time I've ever watched Pacino and just be like, dude, you are bringing too much. Like,
It's Al Pacino, man.
Have you
but I feel
seen
like that was
Scarface?
just part of, right. I mean, Scarface, it fit.
I mean, hey, can we have a vote real quick? Scarface, good movie, bad movie? Bad.
No, I would say it is a good movie,
Joe.
but
Good movie.
it does not hold the test of time. Like this movie,
Horrible.
at least right now in 2022, Heat is still watchable and not like, okay,
Oh,
that's so fucking dated.
They show the bank robbery scene to Marines as a way to do cover under fire to retreat. They teach this. The little thing in trivia that Val Kilmer fucking whipping his gun up, popping that clip out, smacking it in, and going back at it. They teach that. They show that scene to show here's how you do it: up, click, out, smack, done.
I mean, can we talk about that scene?
Let's talk about it. I would say it inspired probably this movie heavily inspired GTA 5. Just in case it doesn't come up, there's so much of this in GTA 5.
And I know you looked it up, Ben. The bank robbery that happened, like, did that happen before this movie or after?
After. They referred to it a number of times afterwards. Yeah. They even say that there were a number of semi copycat events following this movie. Yeah, thanks a lot, Michael Mann.
It was fucking brilliantly fucking portrayed and more realistic, I think. I mean, at a certain point, like, how long do these guys lay down fire? But at the same time, you think about the cops that are up against them. Like, all these guys are up against single action
semi-auto because they're cops. And Michael Mann made that decision in the movie making that the cops would only have access to semi-auto.
Right.
And it shows that they've got more control and they're not trying to just waste everybody, whereas the criminals are on full auto and killing anybody in their way.
And the whole part where Pacino gets, or not Pacino, but De Niro gets away with Kilmer. Like, the whole reason that scene even worked is because, God damn it, I keep getting them confused. Not Pacino, but De Niro is just laying waste. He's just laying waste. He's shooting every fucking buddy.
Yeah, he's got to get out.
Did you guys know that? I mean, this is like one of the first movies that did this. It's not revolutionary anymore, but that they just went to the firing range and they were like, let's record us shooting the scenes that we're going to shoot and put them into this movie. And so, like, I knew that going into this watch through. And so if you're watching and you know that as they are shooting in the street or whatever, the sound of the gun shooting, it has this echo. Like if you've ever been in a firing range, it's an enclosed space. A lot of times, at least it is.
Yeah, and that street in that financial district would have something very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a firing range, though. It doesn't sound like a street, but you can tell that this was not bullshit. They went out, they recreated all these sounds with the specific guns that they were using for this movie.
Yeah,
and
live ammo
to make it realistic. Yeah,
they were really shooting at people on that street.
Yeah, when they shot 11 rounds, they shot 11 rounds. When they shot 3, they shot 3.
83 people killed in the making of this film.
And
I would argue
not a good time.
This laid the groundwork for the John Wick series, but that's just an aside. What I really wanted to say is I actually noticed in this movie now with some time gone by and watching previous and watching past and partly in reference to the John Wick movies, that they maintained a lot more realism in regards to how the actors were required to handle and fire their weapons. So like when Pacino and this scene sticks out for me. It's always stuck out for me when Michael is coming across the plaza with
he grabs the child as a
with-
human shield.
with the kid in his
Oh my
hands.
god,
Yeah.
what a rough ending for that character.
I mean, dude, like,
Dude, when he does that, you're okay with him getting killed.
You're like, oh,
Up
this
until-
guy's an actual hero. Yeah, Pacino's
after
gonna.
having seen the character after having seen Sizemore's character with his own family, for him to willingly pick up a kid.
The action is the juice, baby.
Yeah, no, you're like, oh yeah, no, you're going to get everything that you deserve. And when,
but up until that
and
point,
maybe
you
no,
you don't want him to die. You don't.
No.
fair enough. Up until that point, you're like, all right, dude, just trying to make a living for his family. Like, I get it, freaking pay. But yeah, no, once he picks up that kid, all bets are off. And the writers knew that, and the directors knew that, and the way they wrote it and the way it played out was fucking brilliant. But I specifically, and it stuck with me for a long time, Pacino pulling down and drawing down, and he rolls his shoulder to really seat the butt of the rifle. Like,
Yeah.
no,
You
this
got one
motherfucker
shot.
was on the range, dude. Like, friggin' that's some rifleman shit.
Yeah, there are two little giveaways in the movie that both Pacino and De Niro's character were Marines. Fun fact, maybe you'll look for it on your next watch. Hey, we just got a notice from Sizemore that he really appreciates it, but we haven't gotten to enough A. So let's talk about degenerate gamblers not moving forward as adults. Val Kilmer in this and Naomi Judd. So
Well, you
just
gotta
an
bring
aside
me up.
on Naomi Judd.
Well, you gotta bring me
There
into
used to
it.
be a mother-daughter country duo that was just exploding on the scene, doing amazing. And then Naomi Judd comes along, gets into acting, and then all of a sudden, Winona and my mama, I don't remember her name. It's like they're gone. It's like they're gone. And it's all about Naomi Judd. And when you watch this movie, I get it.
Absolutely.
She's great
Do
in
you-
this. But Kilmer, I really think, is going to be my contender for the top. When they're at the diner with Waingro, and he is just totally vacant, but you can tell he's completely present. I don't know. Kilmer's acting in this movie is a step above everybody else's to me.
Ben,
Really?
Yes.
who's Natalie
Huh.
Judd?
Naomi Judd? No,
Naomi?
Ashley Judd.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's, yep. Interchangeable.
I love how Russ didn't even get your wrong name right.
Right. Thanks. Thanks, Russ. Thanks for
Whatever.
being on top of it.
Uh,
How about Buffalo Bill being in this movie just a couple weeks after we did Silence of the Lambs? Russ,
Dude.
is this on purpose?
I mean,
I don't know, but Ted Levine, I think when we did Silence of the Lambs, I talked about having watched Monk so much recently. Same character in this movie as he plays in Monk. He's a fucking
Yeah.
cop. And he doesn't have all the hair. He's got his less hair look, which Ben might be able to relate to. But
What does that mean? What do you mean when you say that? This movie also has a really great supporting cast, tons of good people. Let's get through them real quick. Wes Studi. Again, you've watched Dances with Wolves within the last week or two, Russ. I'm jealous because I wish I could watch that movie once a month. But he's the main bad guy in that. He's on Pacino's team in this. Great.
Wes Studi?
Studi.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's the main
Piven
bad guy?
as the what?
You would consider him the main bad guy in Dances with Wolves? I don't know if I would agree with
I
you.
mean, for the Indians, the Native
I think-
Americans.
I think you always have to say that white people are the main bad guy in those kinds of movies.
Oh, you're right. My bad. My faux pas there. We got Jeremy Piven.
Loved
As
his,
the,
loved his role in this movie.
Dude,
That was so
dude,
good.
I forgot that they throw in the my daughter gave me this for Father's Day.
I don't give a fuck who gave it to you. Take it off.
That was I
great.
forgot that
was so
line.
good.
That's
That was
so
so
fucking
good.
funny.
Who-
And
wait,
do
is
you
Jeremy-
think what is Jeremy Piven?
Is he the one that is trying to leave when Al Pacino is like, sit down? And he's just yelling at him.
No,
to stay?
that's no, dude. That's
No.
the guy who his wife screws.
I know who
tell-
is that? Because that
Oh,
was
I don't
fun.
know. He
Ralph.
is in stuff
His
though,
name's
isn't he?
Ralph. His
Yeah,
name's
Ralph.
Let me try and find Ralph.
You can ball my wife. No, Piven is the doctor who's sewing up Val Kilmer. Also, do you think Pacino and the informant might have had a better relationship if he had just offered him some funky cold Medina? Joe,
Absolutely.
what do you think? I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
He's got it in his pocket. You know, he's got it.
Ah, fuck yeah.
It's Tone Loc.
I mean, grease the wheels, bitch.
Funky cold Medina.
Martin Ferrero, just the bit parts in this movie. He's the salesman at the dynamite thing in the beginning, which I think is a great scene. It goes by quickly, but I love that scene. So 2 years after he's in Jurassic Park and he gets eaten off the toilet, and dynamite to Val Kilmer in supposedly Arizona, let's say, and that the quietness, the here's who you charge it to, make out the receipt to these people. Here's my ID. I'm going to say nothing. And that the whole rest of that transaction is just say as little as possible
For
and walk away with this
$78,000. Like I had subtitles turned on. Like friggin' he paid cash $78,000.
Have you seen what he looks like now?
No.
It's not pretty.
I just want to
Apparently he was-
revisit.
Wow.
Apparently he was really old in Jurassic Park because he is really old now.
Jeez Louise, Russ. Come on. Aegis.
I don't know. I mean, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, have you guys seen how old they are? Yeah.
They're pretty old. Like I said, that
they're
Al
old as
Pacino
dirt.
movie about the aging rock star is really good. Pacino's great in it.
But just to revisit the purchase of the explosives, like because I want to go back to that because I feel like that
Let's.
set the scene and I feel like that is part of the movie that's aged well because it's still relevant. You know, this opening scene to the movie, De Niro walks in the ambulance, whatever, just
Yep.
yeah, he's
Walking
like
through.
walking through town, blah blah blah. He's got a clipboard, walks into the friggin' hospital, walks through the hospital right out the back, grabs a fucking ambulance and out the door. And they play that acceptance multiple times. And as a service professional, I can
You're not a
attest,
service professional. Shut the fuck up.
I can attest. You walk in with a clipboard or a
Oh, right,
ladder
yeah.
or a toolbox,
Yeah.
they just
My
assume you're
clipboard.
supposed to be there.
Yeah, your clipboard is your shield. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that beginning, I got to admit, I was going to do it up front, but now that we're more than halfway and we've lost 3/4 of the viewers. When you initially said this, I was like, what are we going to do? But I started watching it. And yeah, by the time you're getting to them parking the semi under the overpass, it's like, oh, I'm in. That's right. This movie's kick ass. And they started off with this caper. So good.
Very well written, very, very well executed.
Agreed.
The pacing was done right.
Hey, before I've had time to think about it now.
Great.
Ben's question. We haven't come back to it yet. Who is the best actor in this movie?
Oh, the TV
Ben, I want
guy.
to know yours because it's going to influence me.
The TV guy.
The TV guy.
Yeah,
Ralph?
yeah, the guy that was hiding. Well, they
Oh, yeah. You know, he's an actual homeless guy in LA who was in the area when they were doing scouting for the film. Yeah, there's a little tidbit about it. Yeah, TV guy. I heard him. All right, it's National Women's Day, and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the three main women role in this. Unfortunately,
Ben-
I find Pacino's wife to be not really redeemable.
Mannish. What?
She's not my favorite.
Justine?
I was disappointed.
Yeah,
in the
she's definitely
casting
not
for
paying
that
attention
role.
to her daughter, who let's get to that one in a second. Then you got Amy Brenneman as Evie. Edie? I don't know. Does she bring anything to this role? Like she used to be in a lot of stuff, but I watch this and I feel like she's not pissed enough when it's time to be pissed at De Niro. She's not.
No,
I liked her.
I don't know.
She was the totally like insulated, protected from society, single child, entitled that grew up and the exposure
Jesus,
to
what the fuck?
exposure.
Are you talking about Natalie Portman?
No, I would agree with everything Joe said so far, except entitled. And one of the main reasons I would say that is her accent. She definitely feels blue collar. She feels blue collar. She does not feel entitled in any way.
And then we got Natalie Portman in her second major film role of all time when she's flipping out about her. When she's flipping, shut up, bro. When she's flipping out about her barrettes to the mom.
Number one?
I feel like the mom wanted to stop the scene and be like, you've got to just tone it down a notch. But they kept it.
And it was funny because that was actually a parental moment for me. I was like, man, how often do I do that to my kids?
Mm-hmm.
And it really made me step back and be like, wow, friggin' sometimes it's not about you. You really brought this
a lot.
person.
I'd agree with Russ.
You brought this person into the world.
Sometimes when my dogs are I'll just stop there.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. All right. We got the wad out. Let's talk about trivia.
Wait, Ben.
What?
I've been waiting to hear who is the best actor in this movie.
I already said Val Kilmer, I believe, is my favorite. Although Hank Azaria is kind of fun. He's kind of a shit. But no, Val Kilmer, the choices he makes, that ending, I'd really like to. The only person who has a probably good ending to this movie is Val Kilmer watches Ashley Judd for the next month and finds a spot to just show up when they're not paying attention and she's getting the kids some ice cream and he just walks in and looks and they walk out the back, get into a car and drive away. I honestly believe that those characters.
It's a couple of years till that happens. This is a good segue into a note that I made, which is
that happened. What are you talking about?
In my brain.
Oh,
God damn, Russ.
Have some imagination,
up,
Russ.
When Joe jumped in on it, I was like, wait a minute, I missed something.
Yeah, that's because we have ideas.
Yeah, we think about it while we're watching it.
Dead eyes on that guy. Dead eyes. Sorry, I read a thing about.
I just do real stuff. Sorry.
No, I thought
the heat. Go ahead.
I compared that moment to De Niro going back to kill Wayne Grove.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this fucking thing. Look, you've got your chick. You're able to make it. Nate has set up all this stuff for you at a huge amount of peril. John Boyd actually didn't get mentioned pretty great in this movie as Nate, honestly. Really great as Nate in this movie. Like a low-key, wonderful performance.
Fuck yeah.
Do you go back for Wayne Grove?
Fuck no, dude. I got fucking. You figure they lost one bag. All right, so they figured the take was 12 million, right? And they had three bags that they carried out. So what's 12 divided by 3? That's 4. So one bag's gone. So they got 8 million.
8.
You got
how many millions can Johnny give Sally?
Dude,
oh, sorry. Question.
I actually that was one of the biggest plot points of the whole movie for me.
See, and I disagree. I think the whole thing is shite.
No,
dude, I got all the money.
I agree.
I can tell you why he does it. I can tell you why.
I will come back and get that motherfucker.
I agree with what Joe's saying. I do not understand why he would do it. And there's
He
two
even on
main-
the phone is like, no, you're right. It's too
Two-
late. I don't
Yep.
care.
Yep.
I'm going.
And he still
Two-
goes back. Why?
the two main
Dumb.
reasons to me that he wouldn't do it. Like I'm a different person than a lot of people, but John Voight says to him, like, "You're free, brother," or something along those lines of just like, "Good luck, you're good, you're gonna go live the perfect life, everything's taken care of," or you can do this really dumb thing.
No, I
Right.
told him the
And-
really dumb thing first.
No, he said the other thing first, and then he said, "And hey, I just got to tell you this, just because I promised you I would."
No, I
But-
literally just finished the movie for 15 minutes before I throw the friggin' room up, and I can guarantee you, he said, blah, 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 you're all set up, blah, blah, blah. Just because you asked, this is that, but I figured you don't care.
Yep. And I don't care.
And
Yeah.
I don't.
I got Edie right here, and we're gonna go
Yep.
look at medals.
That's what I mean.
I
Is
got
that was
Edie.
the point? They had this
You talking
whole
to me?
They had this whole conversation that was
Are
very
you
meaningful
Talking to me?
about how like you're
You
good.
giving Wayne Gross present whereabouts to me? It must be to me because I'm the only one here.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's another movie. But anyways, yeah, I was agreeing with you, Joe. They had a conversation beforehand that was just, it all was about how great your life's gonna be, and then he throws in this like, "Hey, just in case, I told you I was gonna tell you it's a terrible idea," and he goes and he does it. But the other thing that, like this person, Neil McCauley, he's built up to be this super genius basically throughout the entire thing.
Yes, planner, plotter. The LAPD doesn't even know about him when they first get their sights on the whole group together.
Oh, yeah. He's like off the fucking radar.
Yeah.
Fully.
And if he were remotely intelligent, he would know that at least one other person, including the police, know where he is right now. Because
Oh, he knew
has
what he
heard
was
about it.
doing. He knew what's
And-
happening.
Dude,
He-
for all right, so dude gets the phone call as he's on his way to his exit strategy, right?
Yep. Got a private
This-
jet waiting on the runway.
This with a limited window. Got his chick in the car, decides on the spur of the moment, wait, no, I'm gonna go handle this guy. Again, walks in with a clipboard, figuratively speaking, like walks in, grabs a friggin'
It's a
jacket
flashlight.
and a flashlight.
Flashlight's a beautiful move when he does that.
Beautiful, fucking gorgeous. I mean, dude, like that, all that part was incredibly well written and incredibly well scripted,
Except for the fact that he was even there.
except for the fact that he was even there because he should have not been there.
Fly
And
it.
how did he go from there to friggin'?
That's how the
like,
movie should have ended, with the lights, him leaving LAX,
Period.
Yep.
Period.
and Al Pacino like, he's gone.
I'll give him.
I had coffee with Macaulay half an hour ago.
because I was watching and I was like, how does Pacino get the drop on him in that final scene? And that final scene is they're coming up to it. I'm like, how does Pacino get the drop? Well, because Pacino wasn't looking at the lights. Like, and I was like, oh, so he just fucked up and didn't realize the lights were gonna light up and blah blah blah. Well, no, he was planning on the lights blinding Pacino. He was planning on Pacino looking into the lights, and in that case, his move would have worked. But Pacino was scanning off to the left. So
Well, he did,
Doing
There's
that
a
Mel Gibson
shadow.
exercise.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
Down and to the
There's
left, you saw
shadows.
that shadow.
Was it patriotic?
there's shadows.
Was
Mel
it
Gibson.
patriotic, though?
Hey,
That's right.
Joe, who's your favorite actor in the movie?
Man, I was trying to avoid answering that question.
Wayne Grow is my guess.
That's hella
Yeah.
funny because I considered it.
That motherfucker.
But no,
I was
like-
I think it's got to be Ralph.
Ralph, stop. You know who else we didn't bring up? Danny Trejo, young Danny Trejo, really early role for him. He's great in this. Dude, when Pacino finds him and he's had his face bashed in, that's a fucking rough scene.
It's brutal.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Brutal.
Wayne Grow.
I mean,
Wayne Grow.
so my first pick would probably be De Niro, but
What are you so interested in what I do or what I read?
Since you made me think about it so much, it's John Voight because he's the only good actor in Anaconda, and I gotta give it to him.
Also, the man who brought us Angelina Jolie.
You make me so sad that I was about to support that statement, because at the end of the day, when I really thought about it, John Voight really brought the heat in this movie. Like, of all the heat
And
that
in
was
Anaconda, have you seen Anaconda? Like,
Oh my
fuck,
God.
that movie sucks so bad.
The
But
Kylie
he-
Minogue or the what's her name? Damn it, not Kylie Minogue. I
Jennifer
watched other
Lopez?
guys the other day.
Jennifer Lopez.
No,
I
Nicki
love it
Minaj.
I love it when Ben fucks up.
Nicki
No,
Minaj has a song Anaconda. Let me ask you this:
Jennifer
what's your
Lopez
favorite
is
House of
in
Pain
it.
song? Is it Top of the Morning to you?
Yes, it
Because
is. It
when is the
by
last time you
far.
heard House of Pain in a movie?
It was when I watched Bullseye, or no,
Dance
when I
around.
watched the character Bullseye in a different movie. But
Oh, right, Daredevil. God, what a piece of shit. Why
Yeah.
did you watch that? Also, Colin Farrell, Miami
Dude,
Vice.
Colin Farrell, he
6
turns.
degrees of Colin Farrell.
He takes 3 paper clips listening to House of Pain and he folds them out into big long needles and he throws them into some dude's throat. And the whole time it's like top of the morning to you.
I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around. Jump
Just
around.
randomly out of the blue. Friggin', what movie was
Those are
that? That
2 different songs, Ben.
One artist.
I can't remember. Never mind.
All right,
Lee
never
Jones-
mind.
Tommy Lee
All right,
Jones
like and
plays-
subscribe, folks.
Tommy Lee Jones plays the terrorist bomber.
Oh, it's Blown Away.
Yeah, Blown Away.
You, right?
God, that's a great
no.
movie.
Is it? I haven't watched it in so long. I can't remember
It was
that
so
being any good.
It was so good. Anyway,
Speaking of heat, what are some other pejorative terms for police officers?
the fuzz.
The fuzz.
Hot fuzz.
One of my
Which
employees
we
actually
did.
just
We
called him
reviewed
pigs
that
to me
one. It's
recently.
here. It might be here. It could be there. Might be.
Click it,
Pejorative
though.
terms.
Click it though.
Ben, can you describe pejorative to our viewers?
No, but I can ask you: at what temperature does water boil?
68.
Not at all.
I'm so
62?
glad Russell got that question instead of me.
Not at
all. 72.
212 degrees. Ouch.
Are you, that's way
Rollers.
different than what I said. What I
Ouch.
said, I've been drinking.
Yep.
Don't listen to me.
Well,
This is my
we're
normal
gonna
state of mind.
let's kick it up a notch. Give me all you got. What degrees does paper burn at?
Give me all you got.
41.
480. How hot does it have to be for gold to melt?
29.
980 degrees.
1,948 degrees.
Hey, I was within 1,000.
There's a common
and some
denominator
change.
here.
And
it
that's
is
heat.
I
That's
was
that in
very
thermodynamics.
close. I was
heat
very
is
close
energy in
on all of
transfer.
them. I was close. I almost made
Close.
it.
Within 1 or 2.
Within
Pretty
1,000.
great.
Either way.
Within 1,000.
What else you
either
got?
way. Pretty sure you were not within 1,000.
Heat. We really brought the heat for this episode.
It's so
What
warm
is your
right now.
ideal heat for an office? I like it a little chillier.
Wait,
I like
64.
so
I like
the
72.
the thing I think that never gets explored with this movie is the ultimate ending, right?
Well, I mean, it's
So-
the
I'll be right back.
penultimate ending.
So, all right, Russ is like avoiding the conversation.
He is,
But,
but I'm ready for it. I'm ready to dive in.
Val Kilmer is the only motherfucker that walks away.
Right. Tragic, but yes, that's true.
So at some point, and you hinted to it earlier, Ben. Like at some point, he gets his wife and kid.
Oh, dude, I want to see that sequel.
Like, dude, I like even just make it a Disney short. Like, I only need 15 minutes.
I don't think it would be Disney, but it could be a short film.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the aftermath.
I only need 15 minutes.
And honestly, Russ's mention of it happening in years, that's probably even better. Like they are,
because it wouldn't be months. It wouldn't be
right.
months.
They
be
significantly older
on that bitch, fucking for
Yep.
years.
Yeah, but yeah,
After
year 3.
Body tags those guys left in the fucking street.
So true. It's so
But
true.
yeah, year 3, year 4. Shit, dude, you're 6, 7. You know, I mean,
Wait.
how
8,
old was
9?
How old was Dominic?
He must have been like 2.
2,
Which, hey,
maybe,
that's a little bit
3?
of a nitpick. I have a little nitpick with this movie. When he comes home and he gives her the 7-8 grand, whatever it is, and he's like, "No, but seriously, we got to go." And they get in the big fight.
Yeah.
There's no babysitter at the house. Like, there's nobody there to watch that child. How are they going to go out? Were they going to bring a child out?
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Come on.
Good call. Good
Telling
call.
you.
Good. I mean, it was a different time. It was 95.
I'd be interested to see if Michael Mann is a parent.
You know what? I'd also be interested because I mean, I'm only just at, well, we'll save that for another show.
We didn't talk about Henry Rollins. There's so many people in this movie, but you know what? I'm sure everybody's like, wait, Jesus. You never said, why would you go into that hotel after Waingro? For Mike, you'd do it. How long have they been working together?
Honestly, I don't think he went in for Mike. I think he went in for Trejo.
You think so? Think they killed Anna, like his whole crew. But I mean, to me,
basically, you could associate all of the losses that he suffered on that operation to Wayne Grove, right?
Yes.
Like so Van Zant gets his. Blah blah blah.
I don't think there was an individual thing. I think maybe Trejo was like the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was his overall.
He had to kill his friend, so yeah, I could see that.
I mean, up until that point, De Niro had been just the bee's knees of criminals.
Just
yeah, you know what? Following your somewhat awkward and ridiculous statement, I would actually go ahead and postulate that maybe that is the thing that broke De Niro's character. Like, he has not been discovered, he has not been figured out, he's not been any of this, and all of a sudden he's all over the fucking news. He's got crazy heat on him
because he's been wearing thermals.
At what point does he boil? You know, and
212 degrees, I'll tell you.
Bam. They managed what temperature? To 212 degrees. He had to handle it. He had to blow off some steam.
That's right. He was experiencing too much.
At what temperature do you get a soft boiled egg? Not a hard boiled egg, but a soft boiled.
69.
Yep, you're right.
Nailed it.
42.
Got it. Doesn't matter what you said because I honestly didn't know the answer to the question.
That's right. You know, it's funny looking at I was looking at Natalie Portman's IMDb, and as an actor, she's got 69 acting credits currently. I thought, you probably take a year off, right? And you're like, I'm going to keep that number for just a minute.
For a minute.
And then boom, here comes 70, Where the Heart Is Too, her and Ashley Judd.
I mean, have you seen her Lonely Island music video?
Oh, yeah, Natalie's around. I don't sleep, motherfucker, off that yak and that Durban.
She is amazing. If I wasn't married to
120 getting
Sonia,
head while I'm swerving.
Yeah, if I wasn't married and she was interested, she's the perfect woman.
Is it because she's Jewish? God damn, dude.
I don't know if that's true. What's wrong with being Jewish? You're Jewish.
Nothing. You're